All right, viewers, welcome to another episode from Anything About Everything. And I have with me founder, CEO of Bustaro, Seema. I've known her for almost 6 to 7 years. She's taught me a lot of stuff. I go to her on a lot of advices, even personal advices. She can attest to that. I'm really, really excited to have her on the show, and I'm going to learn a lot. I'm sure everyone will learn from this. Welcome to the show. Thanks for doing this for me, Seema.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, how's life going in Baltimore?
Cold. Life is going
Cold?
cold. It's freezing. We were supposed to get a crazy snowstorm tomorrow, but thankfully we aren't. So kids will be in school. But it's going well. Work is crazy busy, but in a good way.
Nice. When you told me about your venture, about your co-founding a company and you being the CEO, like I knew that you were starting something, but I didn't know that it was in the tech field. So I want to know, like, what prompted you to start Booster, or like what was the inception, like the idea that went into it.
Sure. So, a little bit about my background first. I worked for the federal government as a program manager and acting deputy director for 11 and a half years, so close to 12 years. And I worked in several departments, but a lot of it I worked in quality control. And the latter 9 years, I worked in ESRD. So I worked on end stage renal disease quality reporting systems. So I was never a tech major, but kind of landed in tech when I reached the government. And it wasn't somewhere that I thought I was always going to be, but somehow it spoke to me. Somehow I really ended up loving it. I really loved my department, the people I was working with, the projects that I was on. Um, and then a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was kind of feeling an itch of, do I really want to stay in the federal government? Do I want to try something new? It was really my first job, out of getting my master's degree working for the government. So, like, I didn't have a lot of experience in the private sector at all. And then at the same time, I thought, if I'm gonna have a nice job, like maybe I'll just stay. So I kind of started like digging around, seeing what opportunities were out there. And this is funny, but like I didn't know how LinkedIn worked. Like my LinkedIn was from when like years ago when I was like 21 or something. So like even my picture was from then. So I was like, let me just update this. So I updated my LinkedIn. I had no idea that people got like notifications when you update your LinkedIn. So people are like pinging me kind of like, "Oh, are you, looking for a new job?" like da da da. And I was just like, "Oh, I guess people are getting notified that I'm changing up my, my logistics on LinkedIn." So one of my old contractors that used to work for me in the federal government reached out and he said, "I started a new company. I would love for you to hear about it." Very, very vague. So I was like, "Yeah, I would love to." So we went out, we had lunch, just chatting about the business and, what he was doing. And at this point, I think it was like maybe a year in that he had been. Um, and he said, I've really been looking for a partner that has government experience, knows about contracts on the inside, and has knowledge, of how the government works and all of that. Would you be interested in coming on? And I was shocked because that is not the offer that I thought I was getting at lunch. I thought I was just going out for a friendly lunch. So I said, I really have to think about it. I've been at this job for a really long time and I love it. I have two young kids. So I went home, told my husband, and he was immediately excited. He was like, why would you not do it? And I was like, this is a big change for me. But so it took me 6 months, to really think about it. Had a lot of back and forth with my now business partner, Snehal. But what intrigued me, I think, about this was that it would be mine.